let's be honest, they don't care. They do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. I am a middle school math and science teacher. Middle school, math, science. Therefore, yes, I understand this phrase. However, there are a few strategies that I have been implementing in my classroom that have made the world of a difference in getting the students to care a little bit more about what I'm teaching them. And then they understand that why I'm teaching them is not just because it's the curriculum or because it's what I'm told to do, but it's because I actually care about their success and that these things I'm teaching them will lead them to that success. So I'm going to share my top 5 strategies of how I make students feel welcomed and excited to come to class and know that I care about them so they care a little bit more about what I'm teaching. Let's get into it. Strategy number 1 starts before they even enter the door. So I have a rule in my class, and all my students know it, that they do not enter my classroom unless I am standing there at that door. This is so important for so many reasons. 1, it gives me some time to kind of clean up from the last class. Then I can hurry and rush to the door, and then I am there. I'm 100% giving them my attention. I'm not busy setting things up or fixing things on my desk or anything like that. I'm there at the door for them. And then I also, for the ones that want it, can give them some kind of physical contact. So high fives, fist bumps, dap me up. Some even want hugs. So that second of physical contact to just really make sure they understand that I'm seeing them there. Plus, if I'm doing this, it is impossible for them to enter without me seeing them and them seeing me. So I guess more school-wide teacher benefits could also be like dress code and checking things, making sure they're not using their phones or things like that. So other school benefits, but for the most part, it's so that they know that I'm there and I'm giving them my 100% attention. Along with that comes strategy 2, which is when I see them and as they enter, I greet them by name. This is kind of hard, especially in the beginning of the year. Greet them by name because that is giving them that one-on-one attention that so many of them need and don't get at school a lot of the time. When I'm greeting them by name, it is not just saying their name, it is saying, I see you and you matter. And not a lot of them get that. It's really sad, but it might be the only time throughout the school day that someone says hi to them. You never know what these students are going through, and so many of them are going through so many different things. So although it's kind of hard when they all rush in, I try to make sure that they're kind of lined up, and so one is coming in at a time and I can greet them by name. They want that high five or hug, I can give them that, and then they know what to do when they're coming in the classroom. And that's strategy number 3. So right next to my door, I have strategy number 3, which is sticks with all of their names on it. This one I just use for my advisory, so the first part of the day, but it has everyone's name on it, and they just take a stick and move it in if they're getting hot lunch or lunch from home, and they'll just move it over. And then this helps in so many ways. First, quick way to take attendance. So if their sticks are left in the all, then I know these students are absent. So I'll shout out the names or look around just in case, but it is a very quick way without any hustle or bustle to just get attendance first thing in the morning, because the last thing they want to do is say here when they're still trying to wake up. So sticks first thing in the morning for my first period. And for all the other classes, I have seating charts. I know this is debated. I debate it all the time as well. But for the ease of just taking quick attendance, I would highly recommend seating charts. And not only that, I have realized that some students don't have a place they belong or feel like they don't belong. Having a seating chart just alleviates that. The pressure of choosing a seat, the pressure of knowing if someone is gonna come sit next to them or not. It gets rid of it. So although I do like allowing my students to sit where they want occasionally, I have a seating chart so that when I need to take attendance really fast, or if I have a sub, they know they have a place. And then also for those days that maybe some students aren't feeling their best, they know they belong somewhere. And that is so important. That's my big theme for all of this, in case you can't tell, but you need to make these students feel like they belong here, because they do, and you're the one that has to show them that. And so seating chart, although could be debated, and some days, yes, I'll let them sit where they want, but I have a seating chart. Strategy number 4 is right here. It's not on right now because it gets kind of loud, but I do have an overhead projector. So every day I have bell work. It gives those students that routine. Students thrive off of routine, so they know exactly what to do when they enter. And it is not a super hard question from the night before or something where they're gonna take hours and hours on. It is, and my students would probably cringe a lot if they heard me say this, but I keep my bell work Sigma. So I keep it simple, I keep it interesting, growth-oriented, mind-stimulating, and accessible. You want them to feel empowered when they come in. So making it simple enough for them to feel that positive confidence is important. I also keep it interesting, which pretty much just means I'll put in some kind of thing that they've been talking about lately, or about an experiment we did the day before that they were really interested in. I keep it growth oriented, so it is focused on them kind of building on their prior knowledge. I keep it mind stimulating, meaning that it gets their brain working. So that is the point of warm-ups. It is to say, hey, I'm in math class. Let's turn on our math brain. Just wakes that brain up. And then accessible. So it usually has different parts to it. So like an easier part for those who may be struggling a little bit and just need to kind of ease into it. And then something a little more challenging for those who always finish early. So if you really want your students to feel a little more welcomed and excited for class, make sure to keep your bell work Sigma. Strategy number 5 is good things. So a lot of these things that I've been talking about today are all from Capturing Kids' Hearts, CKH. I'll talk about that later, but it is incredible. But good things is something that I picked up from it and I've been using for a long time. It's definitely not something I get to every day, but I really, really try. I really try to do this because I really believe it's helpful. So good things, for those of you who don't know, basically you take just a few minutes, the very start of class. So they do their bell work, I take attendance, and then I get up here and I say, okay, let's share some good things. I'll either do it as a class and we'll share good things where I'll just call on people and then share in front of the class. Or if we're a little crunched on time and I feel like they just need that time because they have things to say anyways, is I will just tell them to get up and find a partner and tell them one good thing that happened to you yesterday or happened to you over the weekend. I for sure do it every Monday. Like that's my favorite thing, going after the weekend, coming back, and then just hearing all of their good things. But my rules for good things is they have to keep whatever they share positive and uplifting. Sometimes it might get a little awkward if you have to stop someone, but you don't want that negative energy. We don't want it at the beginning of class. The point of this is to keep it positive and kind of bring some positivity and happiness and smiles into the class. Giving them that opportunity to just share that thing that's on their mind and they're going to want to tell their friends anyways makes a huge difference. So I highly recommend you implement at least some of these strategies. It will show the students that you care, because it is so hard when we have so many students to just make them feel welcomed and make them feel like they're the most important person. But I promise you, if you are standing at that door and you are greeting them by name and saying, I see you, you matter, even for that 1 second every day, like that will make the world of a difference. So I hope you guys got some good ideas from this, and let me know if you have any questions. So I'll see you guys in the next one.